Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome into another video on how to optimize getting Opal Camo in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Today, I wanted to share with you guys how I've been absolutely ripping through Opal Camo challenges on all of my weapons. I've been completing 3 to 5 Opal Camo challenges on different weapons per game, and it's just so fast. Recently, I made a video on my channel touching on how I did this, but I've optimized it even more. So if you want to get more of the setup on what I do or just more in depth on what I do each game, go check that out. This is more so going to be focused on the 30s and early 40s of your games, where you're really going to be ripping through these Opal challenges. I'll summarize a little bit on the perks and stuff that keep me alive in these higher rounds, as well as give you some tips and tricks that I didn't in the last video that'll make it even faster. So let's get into it. So first things first, we're going to be on Citadel because this is easily the fastest map, and the Doppel Gast enemies are what we're going to be focusing on when we're trying to complete these challenges. So to summarize a little bit on the main things that you need to set up, let's talk perks and ammo mods. There's going to be 4 main perks. You're going to want Stamina, Vulture, PhD, and Elemental Pop. Now, each of these has an augment that's really going to help us out in making this go a lot faster. So Stamina and Vulture are going to work together because you have the Hot Foot augment on Stamina, which gives you speed after using your equipment, and then the Vulture augment Picky Eater, which drops more of your current equipment. So I normally run a Tomahawk. That way, when we get in the high 30s and we have super sprinters, I can just immediately throw a Tomahawk and be super fast. And then I can pick up max of 5 Tomahawks because they're going to be dropping everywhere with the Vulture augment. PhD is also going to help with your speed a lot on these higher rounds with both of these slider augments. And then lastly, Elemental Pop. And we're just going to be using Citrus Focus on this one because it activates the current ammo mod we have equipped. Now, we're going to equip Light Mend on both the weapons that we have in this game, even if you're not using it for an Opal challenge, because it just shreds through the Doppel Gast. And it's going to kill them even faster because Elemental Pop's going to re-proc your Light Mend and do even more damage. And on Light Mend, it'll be very helpful to have the big game augment because it'll help take down the amalgamation super quick. So that's just something to keep in mind. Lastly, I'd recommend running Ether Shroud. Now, that's going to be all the setup. If you want to know more about augments and perks and stuff, go check out that last video like I mentioned. I don't want to get too in-depth on that in this one, though. So let's get to the main sack of potatoes, meat and potatoes of this video. The reason I'm remaking this is because I focused a lot on Mystic Gold challenges before, and I told you guys to exfil on like 31, 36, which is great. You can still do that, but if you're only focused on Opal challenges, it's actually going to be more important to stay in the game longer. Here's why. You can get a lot more Doppel Gast to spawn in your games within round 30 to like 45 before it becomes just absolutely too chaotic where you probably should exfil. And this next tip is exactly why this is the case. So what I didn't know previously is that parasites are the main source of Doppel Gast in this strategy. Once you hit the 30s, you're going to have a max of like 2 to 4 Doppel Gast just organically spawning per round. And then you're also going to just have a bunch of parasites that are going to be flying around each round. And if you leave them alone, you don't kill them throughout the entire round, the longer that they live, the higher odds they have of interacting with the zombie and creating another Doppel Gast. So every parasite that you see in that round can potentially turn into a Doppel Gast. So you can get up to like 10 to 15 Doppel Gasts per round if you really are maximizing the amount of parasites that you have. Another side note is spiders are the exact same way. Spiders can transform into parasites. So if you want more parasites, try and leave the spiders alive. I know they're annoying as hell. I try and kill them as much as I can because they always kill me, but they can create more parasites. So I'll typically focus on whatever gun I'm trying to get headshots on for like the first 25-ish rounds, while also killing Doppel Gast with my Opal challenge weapon. But once the 30s hit, I'm pretty much just solely focused on Doppel Gast. Because if you kill all the zombies in the round too fast, the parasites aren't going to have a chance to transform into a Doppel Gast. It's honestly better to just run a train around in circles and wait for all of your parasites to transform before you start killing all of the zombies in the round. Because the longer the zombies are alive and the longer the parasites are alive, the higher the chance that they turn into a Doppel Gast. So I figured that out, and I was getting a boatload of Doppel Gast kills for my Opal challenges. I was running through like a gun every 3 to 4 rounds, pretty much. Especially once you get into the 40s, it goes a lot faster. Now, another tip that you can do to get more parasites is to activate the Lion Sword, because you'll start to get extra parasites that are glowing that spawn in every round. But the problem with that is when it's in the 40s, there's going to be a lot of parasites, and they're not going to all turn into Doppel Gast right away. So they're just going to be sniping you from afar with their spit. And I went down multiple times when I had the glowing parasites in my game. So I found it was honestly a little bit better not to use the glowing parasites. But if you want to use them for the early 30s just to get even more parasites per round to switch into Doppel Gast, go right ahead. But I will say it does get chaotic towards the end of the 30s and early 40s. So yeah, when a parasite turns into a Doppel Gast, you just use the weapon that you're getting the Opal challenge done with, and your light men should just rip through them. You're probably going to want it to be pack 2 at least with the purple or higher rarity, and you're already in the 30s, so you're going to have a lot of salvage saved up. And if your primary weapon that you're not doing challenges with is a high level in rarity and pack-a-punch, you can always use that to wear down the health of the Doppel Gast and then finish it off with your other weapon if it's not doing as much damage. That's also what I was doing when I was working on Mystic Gold challenges as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can maximize this. I don't really think it's necessary to run Sam Trials or the Rampage Inducer after round 30 because there's just so many zombies spawning in. And I typically did this with no extra zombies from Sam Trials and not using the extra parasites from the Lion Sword as well. And I was still running through them like crazy. So if you wanted to challenge yourself and do that as well, you can probably get a couple more per round, but you might find yourself going down a bit more than you want to. One last tip that I will say that you can do to deal with the amalgamations faster, if you're having trouble with those still, even with the Lightmend augment, you can progress the Easter egg a little bit to the point where you get the electric incantation and then use that electric incantation on the amalgams solely. That way you're not killing a bunch of Doppel Gast by accident. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. I just wanted to update that last video because I didn't know anything about the parasites and how to maximize the amount of Doppel Gast that you can get per game. And I also kind of just made my build of perks work a lot better together than I did in that other video. And I think I made it a bit easier than I did in the last one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to take a second to thank you guys. We just hit 2,000 subscribers. Pretty hyped. It sounds dumber when I say it out loud, but dope. It's really cool. Appreciate all the love on the recent stuff. You guys have been so positive in the comments, and seems like you've been enjoying the videos so far. So we're gonna keep trying to get you some quality content, and we got a new DLC coming out soon, so plenty of stuff coming your way. If you're new, subscribe. We go live here on YouTube and Twitch, and got plenty of zombies, potential Rocket League content coming soon. So lots of things to look forward to. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.